This is a presentation of the Sports Source Digital Network, presented by Hearthside Bank.
Welcome into the Sports Source Digital Network. This is a show we call Five Questions. I'm John Pennington. I'm joined by VFL Marlon Vols, VFL Ollie Lane, and all-around good guy. That's AAGG. John Wilkerson right here. We do this every week leading into Tennessee's football game, and this week it's Florida, so we've got a lot of Florida-themed questions today. We thank Hearthside Bank for bringing you this program. Question number one, gentlemen. Do you have a problem, this guy could be Florida's next coach, do you have a problem with Lane Kiffin's family visiting two other campuses this week, both in the SEC? They visited LSU's campus, they visited Florida's campus. Do you have a problem with that? Marlon Walls, guy who played for Lane Kiffin and likes Lane Kiffin.
Yes, I do have a problem with it. It's because it takes away the attention from finishing out the season, getting ready to go play in the playoff, and have one of the best seasons Ole Miss has ever had. Those guys in the locker room are seeing this information come out. And, of course, they're starting to think, and they're getting questions from family and all, is he going to be here? So it's a distraction, but it's typical Lane. So that's the way he gets down.
Yes, it is.
I think he visited USC his family visited USC when he was here at Tennessee.
I don't like it, but it is par for the course. Just go back to why he was fired by Nick Saban. Mm-hmm. It's like, you're one game away. Just coach us through the playoffs and then go to FAU. But he couldn't stay focused on Bama, and Saban said, hit the bricks. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I keep hearing, oh, he's matured now. Oh, he's changed now. There is nothing about him that has changed or matured. If I'm an Ole Miss fan, it would be very difficult to be angry with him with what the success he's had, but I would be angry about this. You either want to coach here or you don't. And I don't like you dragging this out in the middle of the season. John, do you have a problem with it?
I do, exactly for what Marlon said, and then add to it, his family's been there. I mean, they've been to Gainesville, they've been to Baton Rouge, and this is exactly why you have an agent. It's the agent that does the back channel discussions. Then you've got that plausible deniability. You can tell the team, look, I'm locked in with you. We're here to do something Ole Miss has never done before. So I do think it is an issue, and I do think it is a huge distraction because it's like he gets to enjoy the best of both worlds. He's telling the team, I'm focused like you are, and the team is saying, well, your family's not.
That's right. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure they're talking to you.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you're going to Gainesville? I had nothing to do with that. Didn't know. Why are you down there? It's ridiculous. All right, now, do you have a problem with it or no?
I somewhat do have a problem with it, just hearing you guys talk about it. You know, at first I didn't have much of a problem with it because at least it's not him going down there doing it. Okay. But, you know, the more I've thought about hearing you guys talk, it does, because now that you're sending the family down there versus the agent, that means it's more real. That it's actually we might be going to one of these two places. So I need you guys, my closest family, to go check it out for me to make sure it's good. And then on top of that, Ole Miss is having a great season. They have the potential to go to the playoffs.
And win a national championship.
Yeah. But now it makes me think, and especially I'm sure these Ole Miss fans are thinking, if we would lose one more, would he still be here right now, or would he go ahead and take that other job at this point? Is the only thing holding him here is the playoff ride, and I think that probably is the only thing that's still kind of holding him in that spot where, I'm 100% committed to Ole Miss. He's only saying that right now, I feel like, because they do have that playoff run to look forward to in coming down the line, whereas if that wasn't on the table, I don't know if he would really be saying those kind of comments and more or less be already either heading somewhere else or already it'd be known that, hey, he's going to be here next year.
Okay, question number 2. Tennessee visits its House of Horrors, the Swamp, this weekend. But of all the SEC stadiums you visited or played in, what is the very best SEC stadium, not including Neyland?
I got to say it, and people might get upset, but Alabama is probably one of the best stadiums I've ever played at. Really? You could tell they've got some money down there from winning a bunch of national championships, and it shows in their stadium. It's almost a pro-level stadium. It's the away locker room's very spacious.
Right. So not necessarily the outside. You're talking about the actual
just the
player
actual
stuff. Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, even as an environment to watch a game, Georgia, I would put it up there, but I cannot stand the barking. I don't like the barking. It drives me nuts. I mean, grown men should not be getting on a horse and barking at people. But, Alabama, too, for the most part, their older fans show you a lot of respect. I can't say the same for the younger fans. I got a lot of experience of that this year, of how those younger fans can be down there. But just in terms of a stadium and what it is, Alabama is probably one of the best stadiums I've been to.
You saying that about grown men shouldn't be getting down on these marking. All I could picture was The Shining. It's an image there. All right. Best stadium you've ever been, SEC stadium you've been in?
I think I would go with Texas A&M. I think it's one, as soon as you land at College Station, that's what you see. You land at an airport and you expect to see the metro area, the downtown buildings and everything, but you see that because that's what dominates the horizon. And then to walk around it, it's gigantic. So to me, that's the most impressive. Alabama would be there, and I like the setting as to where Sanford Stadium is. I think Georgia's one of the prettiest campuses there is. And then I would also throw in LSU simply for the fact that there's a tiger cage right next to it.
Mine is a little different. The location isn't good because it's not near campus, but inside South Carolina Stadium. I thought
That's where you're going.
I like it. I think they do a good job for a program that has never been highest level. They're always supporting their team. It's always packed in there. They do the sandstorm and all that. I'm someone who howls with laughter every time they do the damn rooster thing.
Yeah.
I think everybody, growling cats and barking dogs, for them to do the rooster crowing, I just find that amusing. And then they do a thing outside. It's not the Vol Navy by any stretch, but some of their biggest boosters is a railroad track that goes beside the stadium, and some of their biggest boosters have put cabooses there, literally old cabooses, and they've done them up to where they're just tailgating zones. They're locked in spot, but you go in there, they're really nice. People have spent big money on these things, and they do their pregame tailgating in there. I just like that stadium at South Carolina. So it's just I've never been to LSU, so I can't compare it to LSU or Texas A&M. Marlon.
I just recently came from the Texas A&M South Carolina game. Before that game, I would have said the Swamp. I liked the Swamp. I was there when it was Tebow Mania. It was insane. Just the fans being on top of you. Felt like a really good football atmosphere. But Kyle Field, Texas A&M is awesome. It's huge. It literally looks like a pro stadium. It's like it's different levels, and then also, man, you get inside and seeing how tall up the stadium goes. And then they've got just enough weirdness there with the guys, the chant leaders and all. It was pretty insane. Then I got a chance to experience the down 30-3 at the half, and then come back and win 31-30. Go 10-0. It was pretty insane. Cal Field. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean I've heard a lot of people say that Cal Field is a special place to watch a game, and it's the biggest in the SEC for now until Danny White expands the stadium again. But it's the biggest in the SEC, and I've always said this back in 2012 when they were talking about coming into the league. It broke down with them in 2011, and I remember writing on a website that they should have been in 50 years ago. They should have been an original SEC member. They're close enough. If you're going to go Texas, that's as far as you go, in my opinion. But they're crazy. They have weird traditions. They're bizarre. Everybody else looks at it and goes, "What are they doing there?" The same way everyone looks at everyone else and says that. They are SEC level weird, and I think they're a good fit. All right, name one Florida player you liked, either personally or just watching them on TV.
I played against this guy. I think he's probably the best Florida player in recent, the last couple of decades. I go Tim Tebow. And not because he's a likable guy and the religion stuff and all that and writing stuff on his app, but the guy was a football player. I can remember lining up against him and looking back in the backfield and saying, man, that guy there is a man on a mission. I tell you, we had I think we lost some 10 to 12 or 14 or something like that. We had a first down. They had a first down that they had to get in order to kill the clock. Everybody knew where the ball was going. Guy got the ball and said, get out of the way. Got the first down. And so for me, I respect him as a football player.
All right. John?
There too. I just thought Percy Harvin was unstoppable. And it was amazing how many different things they worked into his bag of tricks. So he's the most impressive Florida Gator I think that I've seen play. Alex Brown was also unstoppable for one game, if not more. But
what, 99?
Yeah.
Four sacks, I think.
Yep. So I would just say those two were the most dominant, and it's just like you just sit there and go, wow.
I expected a Tebow since he played for the Broncos. I always got to think, all right, what Gators played for the Broncos? So, I'll go Tebow, not only because he was a heck of a player, but I never understood. I get it that you don't like a player on another team. I get that. But the number of people, there was so much hatred for Tebow when, if he had been at the University of Tennessee, people would be naming their kids Tim the way they did Peyton. Mm-hmm. He was everything you wanted as a player, but he was everything you wanted off the field too. I watched an interview just recently where he sits down and they're talking to him, and the guy asks him about, you didn't get a chance here. You signed with this team, but you never really got a chance. They kept you for 2 weeks. They tried to move you here. Do you feel you didn't get as many, the chances that you needed? And his answer was classic Tim Tebow. He said, no, I feel I didn't make the most of the chances I got. This guy's legit. I know somebody who works in the Jacksonville market, and he said there were always these rumors that, oh, none of that's true. He said, that's what wasn't true. He said, that guy was everything he was cracked up to be. So, Tim Tebow. Anybody you like for Florida?
Yeah, it'd be Tim Tebow. I mean, Tim Tebow, to me, I remember growing up as a kid, everybody talked about Tim Tebow. Everybody was Tebowing. Everybody loved Tim Tebow.
I forgot
I mean, the guy is just, and again, he's just a great guy. I mean, you go on, he does all the media stuff now. He's a great aspect in that. He has a lot of good insight that he brings. And I like how even now he's on this media side, he's fair with everybody. I mean, just because he played with Florida, he still has picked Tennessee to beat Florida a couple times over the years. And so he brings that aspect into every part of his life. And honestly, to tell you the truth, I probably couldn't. There's not any other Florida player that I've actually liked other than Tim Tebow. So,
well, that's the other thing. I don't know if I've got anybody else on the list. No. It's not a long list of players I've liked at Florida.
I like that Percy Harvin pick.
He's a good player.
He was good.
He's remembered in Knoxville. He wound up at the Patriots and had one good year as Jabbar Gaffney, famous for we may get into that here with our last two questions.
This show is brought to you by Hearthside Bank. Visit hearthsidebank.com today.
First of all, we'll start on the positive, because if I start with negative, people are turning it off. We'll start with positive, then go to negative. What's your best memory from any Tennessee-Florida game? Could be one you played in, could be one you watched. Best memory from a Tennessee-Florida game, John Wilkerson.
You take 1998 and just like Neyland Stadium out of the stadium equation, you go ahead and you set that aside because that tells you were on to something special. So I'm going to set that to the side because 98's the low-hanging fruit.
Okay.
2001, Tennessee goes to Gainesville. They play at the end of the season because of 9/11, unfortunately. And everybody's made their plans in Gainesville that they're going to go to the SEC championship, they're going to win that, and then they're going to go play for a national championship and win that. And Tennessee ruins it. It was remarkable. Not only did Tennessee get the win, hanging on for the 34-32 win, but they also ran Steve Spurrier out of the Southeastern Conference. He lost that game, got disappointed in the fans' reaction to it, and it's like, if 10 wins, 11 wins isn't special, I'm in the wrong place. And he went to the National Football League. So 2001, you win there, and you say, hasta la vista, baby, to Steve Spurrier.
You exercised your demon.
Exactly.
Literally. 2001. Okay. I will say, mine was just in the stadium, watching it. 98, of course, is huge up there, but I'm like you, I'm going to lay that aside. Personally, I would have always said that the greatest John Ward call that I could remember, my favorite, was Pandemonium Reigns. I'd forgotten he'd used that in 82 when Tennessee beat Alabama, too. So it kind of took that down a little. It's like, oh, he just rehashed one. But the one I'm going with, I was in the stadium. I was actually at UT at the time, 1990. I think Tennessee at halftime is leading 7-3.
Yep.
Opening kickoff of the second half, Dale Carter catches the ball, bounces off a guy, and he literally looks like a weeble wobble. He hits a guy and kind of leans sideways, and then he's gone, and that game just turns into a laugher. I remember Von Reeves, Tennessee tight end, had a pass for a touchdown down the field. Who did he hit with that? Do you know? I can't remember who he hit with that one. But I remember Von Reeves throwing it. It was just a big night for the Vols all the way around. Beat them 45-3 in Knoxville. That, to me, was just a hell of a lot of fun that night. That was a great win to be at because Spurrier had gotten you, I think, while he was at Duke, and it was the last time you'd seen him, and it's like, okay, let's shut this guy up. And they did. So 1990, Vols just beating the hell out of Florida at Neyland Stadium. Favorite memory? I bet I can guess.
Yeah, I got two of them. One, obviously, I think I got to go with 2016. That was the first time I, as a child, really remembered us beating Florida. And so that was something that I always remember. I always remember Vern on the call for that one and Juwan having one of those great bobble catches on the sideline. But I'd say my all-time favorite moment came in 22, and it was right when they threw the last pick, and we got it, and we're like, we finally beat Florida. It's the only time I beat Florida, the only time in my career that I got a win against them, and I'll never forget it because that set up for what was going to be a very special 22 season.
What was the locker room like?
That was nuts. I mean, you talk about we sing the chant after every game. You know, we don't give
a damn about the whole state of it.
It was loud that night. It was really loud. Yeah.
What does Heupel say to a team after that big game? I mean, you don't have to give me the specifics, but is he fired up after those? I mean, we saw the Oklahoma last year where he was emotional.
Yeah.
But does he?
Yeah, I mean, he gets fired up. He'll dance with us in the locker room with the songs going, all that kind of stuff. But then, he always makes sure to tell us, enjoy this one, but we got work to do on Monday, which is always what Coach is going to say. Yeah. But for those big ones, he gets fired. It's almost like he turns into a player again because he knows what that's like and knows how we feel. And he loves to join in those kind of things with us.
Marlon, favorite memory from a Tennessee-Florida game?
I would say, one of the ones I got to throw out is 98, the interception by Deion Grant across where he catches the one-hander. I was a kid watching that one, but, man, that was an awesome catch. But I go personal experience. I go freshman year. We're in Gainesville. That team they just came off a national championship. I want to say 2 actually, previous years. But anyways, a guy by the name of Jansen Jackson. There's a play in the end zone where the ball is actually caught by their return or whatever, like it's a touchdown. Jansen flies across, gives the guy a great hit. Ball flies out of there. He knocks himself out of the game. And I remember him on the sideline saying, "Hey, he didn't get it. He didn't catch that, did he?" No, you got him. We're good. So that's one that always sticks to me. So I say that play there by Jansen Jackson coming across the hash, making that play in the end zone, knocking the ball free.
Would that have been 2010? Was it down there or here, you say?
It was in Gainesville.
Okay, so that might have been 2009.
Yeah, that was 2009.
They'd won a title in 06 and 08, I believe.
Yeah.
So, okay. Now we got to flip it. Worst memory from a Tennessee-Florida game?
Well,
and in case you don't, we've got fire trucks running by. They're here in case
they
the emergency gets
going to the bridge.
Yeah. Worst memory from a Florida-Tennessee game?
I can jump in there. This is my personal one that gets me every time. We're in Gainesville. This is my senior year, Butch Jones' first year. Quarterback play has not been great. And then we get the news in the hotel the same day before we hop on the bus and leave that there's a quarterback change. Nathan Peterman is going to be our starter. And one of our offensive linemen came into our hotel room and said that as he's laughing. And I'm like, there ain't no way. He's like, no, he's starting tonight. And then I want to say the first series, he goes to throw the ball.
Yeah.
And the ball flies out of his hand and goes back that way. They pick it up and scoop and score. And I knew then that it was doomsday. So it was that's my absolute worst one because I think we saw it. First of all, that was a questionable decision to change it literally on game day, and then also to see that guy, that moment be too big, ball flies out of his hand.
Felt bad for him. That's one of the worst beatdowns, meltdowns I've ever seen. Guy went on and played in the pros, made a lot of money.
Yeah.
But it was there 2 of those meltdowns in history. One of them, he came back and had a great rest of his career.
Yeah.
But it's that and Ainge at LSU were the 2 where it's and that was another one where Ainge kind of did one of these. Both of them wound up in the NFL. Both of them came back. But those are the 2 memories that stick out to me of, ooh, this guy's not in it tonight.
Yeah.
I've heard rumors, though. Not rumors, I've been told. He had a great week of practice, which is why they went to him that week. Do you remember it that way?
I don't care. You don't do that on game day.
There you go.
That wasn't a good day.
Don't
That
do it on
wasn't a
game
good
day.
one.
All right. Worst memory from a Tennessee-Florida game, Ollie?
The entire 23 game was just a terrible nightmare. Obviously, I did not play a great game.
You're having to fill in. You're a guard who's having to fill in at center because Cooper Mays is out.
Well, and like my whole ideology was, all right, I think there was 3 games that we played before we get to Florida. I was like, I can get this thing as a center to 3-0, and then I'll hand it back to Cooper. I'll go back to my guard position, and we'll play Florida, and then it won't. All the pressure's on me. Well, it didn't turn out that way. All the pressure ended up on me. I can tell you, every Vol fan let me know that I didn't have a great game that time. And so I'll never forget, the most memorable one is we're kind of somewhat still in the game. We got a good drive going, and we're going to take a shot. And so we're holding up on the D-line or on the O-line. I've got that big 400-pounder just sitting right here on my guard, and I'm freed up right now. I see Spraggs is good on my other side, and so I'm going to go clean this guy up, get a good hit on him. Well, as soon as I do that, I go clean him up. Well, I clean him up right into Joe Milton, who was slid over to that side, and as soon as he throws the football, so he's caught like this, and then now a 400-pound guy just gets hit right into him. I was like, and then to add on top of that, they pick it off, running down the field, and I'm like, well, I'll try to catch him. I get down there, and I accidentally couldn't stop my brakes, hit a defender for Florida, 15-yard personal foul.
Wow.
And then I walk right back to the sidelines and stare my mom and dad right in the face because they're sitting right behind the bench. I'm like, this is a great Saturday night in Gainesville, Florida.
Okay, so classic meltdowns. Peterman, Eric Haynes, Ollie. No,
there you go.
That's tough, man. That's tough.
Yeah.
Worst memory of Tennessee-Florida game, John Wilkerson.
Oh, it was 1995. The sea was angry that day, my friends. It's off to a great start.
Yeah.
Tennessee leads 30-14, about 3.5 minutes to go in the first half. They score a touchdown right before the end of it, so it's 30-21. It was part of 48 unanswered points. They go on to win 62-37. You know that people were making plans for Atlanta. They were buying tickets. I mean, they were. This is the exercising of the demons. And so it was awful. I'll never forget putting together, I don't know why I looked it up, but it was Tennessee gave up more points consecutively to Florida in that game than about probably 4 or 5 seasons of some of General Neyland's teams. 48 unanswered points.
And that was the year that Philip Fulmer had promoted John Chavis as his defensive coordinator, and there were a lot of people, if I'm recalling that correctly, it was 95, there were a lot of people who did not like John Chavis being promoted to defense coordinator. Turns out to be, it was a great decision. Yeah. But I remember that game, there was a lot of, see, this is what you get. Yeah, that was a nightmare. The problem for me picking one, there's so many.
Yeah.
I literally could sit here, I could go 85, which was a horrible disappointment when you lose down there and you overcome it, and because they're on probation, you wind up going to the Sugar Bowl. There was
17 Hail Mary in the game.
Yeah,
that was tough.
Oh man, where was that the 4th and 14, and the guy breaks loose and goes the whole way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there was that. There's just on and on and on. But I'll give you the one that was probably the most disappointing. I remember going to a sports bar in Columbus to watch it. Tennessee had just gone undefeated the year before, won the national championship, and you're thinking, oh man, Vols are going to roll forever. Never going to lose again. You go down to Gainesville, and it's the Alex Brown game. 4 sacks from him, but 4th and 2, you hand the ball off, I believe. Either handed it off or pitched it. And, in my mind, it's like, what are you doing running on 4th and 2? And you get stuffed, and that's that. And it's like, well, last year's done now. They're never going to win anything again. But I remember I'm living in Columbus, Ohio, so I'm having to go to a sports bar and ask, everybody's watching that game. It's national. But I'm the only Tennessee fan there. So I'm sitting there, and most people aren't even caring. So I'm like banging the table and, throwing a bottle at somebody. But the 99 game was the most disappointing, I think, where you thought, okay, we beat these guys last year. You've turned a corner. No corner turned. So that was up there. Any other memories, special memories from Tennessee, Florida games?
Oh, I would say
good or bad.
Yeah, I would say good was getting a sack. Jeff Driscoll turns into an interception for a pick 6.
Broke his leg?
I was going to leave that part out.
Well, it's going to be in the Saturday show anyway. We talked about it there.
Yeah, my guy Devontae Swaffer gets a pick 6 out of it. We celebrate in the end zone. And then the worst part of that, too, was knocking him out of the game. Now the backup comes in and he's a runner, and we couldn't stop him all the rest of the game. So it was a good and bad.
Do you care? 6-7.
Yeah.
All right. Do you care to tell the story? I mean, I don't think it makes you look bad. I just think even then, I mean, you didn't break his leg on purpose.
No.
But you were asked. Do you want to tell us?
Yeah. So we got on the plane to head back out of Gainesville. And again, I'm peed off because we just lost the football games my last year playing against them, and we had them right there for the taking. And then somebody from the PR staff comes and sit next to me on the plane, and they're like, "Hey, you have to send some kind of tweet out, apologize." And I was like, "No, I'm not going to apologize." Like, "Yeah, you got to apologize." I was like, "No, I'm not going to apologize. I'll say have a speedy recovery,
right,
and I know you'll bounce back or something like that, but like I'm not about to sit here and apologize. That wasn't a
dirty
play where I was
No.
looking at his leg and like I'm a fault. No, it was a football play. So
Yeah.
that made me even more mad than anything else.
You're sitting there, you just lost a game, you're ticked off, and now they want you to apologize.
I got to send a tweet apologizing.
Which makes you look like you did it on purpose.
On purpose.
Any other Florida-Tennessee memories, good or bad?
Well, being such a tremendous fan of Tim Priest, get you some of that, Jalen Tabor.
Yeah.
Which I think is the game that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, some of that.
Oh, that was just fantastic. Because that's all you heard about going into that matchup. It's like, can Tennessee do anything against this, the best in the universe? And it's like, well, yeah.
Was it the 2016 game where Florida gets the lead?
Yeah.
Fans at Neyland Stadium let the team have it going to halftime, and then they come back and they have one of those runs where they just dust the Gators in the second half. That one stands out as a memory. Any others?
The last little tidbit I'll add on that 23 game, I'll never forget.
You need to see a therapist about that game.
We think the game's over. There's no time left, so we're all like, I'm getting in the locker room as fast as I can, and there's about 10 or 12 of us that did the same, getting in the locker room. Well, come to find out, the ref said, whoa, there was something going on. There's one additional play left. Tennessee has to come out and snap the football. So I've got someone running the locker. We need the center. We need someone to snap the football. I run out there with some helmet that's not even mine, squeeze it on my head. I'm like, why am I out here? I just want to go home at this point. Snap a football. I don't even think Joe was back there at the quarterback. It was like my long snapper was sitting at quarterback just to take the knee, and I'm like, why are the refs making us do this? The game's over. Let's go home.
Yeah.
But that was a great way to just like burn the cigarette into the insult. I mean, it's
Wow, you do need a therapist. All right. Thanks to you guys. Let's see if Tennessee can make a memory tomorrow night in Gainesville. Anytime you get a chance to win down there, I mean, I still think that the Vanderbilt game next week is what people are going to be freaking out. If you win at Florida and then lose at home to Vanderbilt, I think the Florida game gets erased, but it would still be nice, especially for Joey Aguilar, to snap that streak. That's That's an all-timer. You can always say we're the one team that won down there for the first time in 20 years. So hopefully they can get that done. I thank Marlon Walls, John Wilkerson, Ollie Lane for being here. I thank Hearthside Bank for bringing you this. I thank you for watching it. Be sure to smash the like button, as they say. Hit subscribe. Leave a comment. Tell us your favorite or least favorite Florida-Tennessee moments. The Florida player you liked or disliked. Tell us why we're all wrong about that lousy Tim Tebow. And we will see you next time right back here on the Sports Source Digital Network.